All-Madden Football brings you the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Bears and the Niners, and it comes your way next.
It was a common sight in the 80s and 90s, not quite as frequent since, but it's back. Playoff football in the Bay Area here at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Chicago Bears and the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they enter play here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFC playoffs. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
All in all, he was pretty solid in the victory in the wild card round and threw a couple of touchdowns. And when it comes to quarterback play, you'd always love spectacular. But in the playoffs, you'll take solid. And that's exactly what they're looking for from him again in this contest.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. And Lance now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Here comes the 49ers punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And if he and his guys want to spring the upset here in the second round and move on, they've got to focus on the good that they did in the wild card victory. At the top of that list, protecting the football. Got a little careless last week. A few got away from him. Might not be so fortunate this time around. And if that's the case, they'll end up going home.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Fields. And his throw here is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Fields. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line. It was just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play the best we can.
You almost get a mulligan there on that first drive.
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. And Lance going to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Tack McKinley drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Chicago back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. They'll go option on 2nd down, right side. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Oh, he's ridiculous.
And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A 1st down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Boston Scott, his first carry. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Now it's Fields. And incomplete on the deep ball. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. The 49ers ready to set up shop again offensively. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. To throw, it's Lance. And he can't escape, and down he goes. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack. Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now a man open down the middle of the field. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Here's Lance. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
That's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal. They run with Patterson. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Here's Fields. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. A great effort there. There to make the grab. And the Bears are on the board first here in this division round matchup. And all the pressure that goes on in these playoffs, but the first score here in the divisional round always very key.
Partner, this team handled it like it was a regular season game, that they were confident in what they were doing, came right out and established themselves early.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. On the return is Duvernay. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Trey Lance and the 49ers set to go back on offense here. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. On 2nd down now, it's Mitchell. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Now Lance. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return.
Let's go!
The Bears now ready to take over again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. To throw is Fields. Forced out to his left. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not.
Bring it back. Good job.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. And he fires one incomplete. Offensively, might be thinking, what's going on here? 1 for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around, not having that success. Might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get it back in form.
They'll run with Scott. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They trail here early in this division round game as they seek a spot in the NFC title bout. They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be corralled right around the 34.
Good job over there, baby. I see y'all. Good job over there, baby.
That was pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. As they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Lance looking to throw it. That one complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing now is Lance. This throw's going to be incomplete. The Niners on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Lance to throw it. That's taken in by Duvernay. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Now it's the fullback. This is Kyle Juszczyk. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
And that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Lance completes it to the tight end, Kittle. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that, and a great play for that defensive unit. Now the point after try for Santos. And it's good to make it 14-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Trey Lance of the 49ers set to go back on offense here. I think this crowd not really sure what to make of things. You know, their guys have not looked very good. Their leader here at the top, he hasn't looked that great either.
And most of the time you hear guys talk about how they don't let the crowd affect them or they block it off. Well, that's not really fully true, because a lot of the times you ride the wave of emotion with a crowd when it's positive for you. In this case, they've got to find a way to shake it off and at least get something done to maybe put the crowd back on their side. Absolutely. Give these guys something to cheer about.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Throwing is Lance on 3rd down. Drops this underneath. It's Mitchell. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
Let's go, baby.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Lance now on 1st down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the 1st down sack. Lance. Pass incomplete. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Back to throw. Lance. He's going to let one fly for Tate. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. A big connection on that one. 34 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, he'll hand this off. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return, and the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
And look at this. For the 2nd straight play, the 49er defense drops him for a loss. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
The Bears on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Here's Fields.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off at the 21. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. And we'll see if that pick 6 looms large as this game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years.
I would agree with that totally. And you often think to yourself, why do they alter it so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome? But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side, it deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up. And then things really go from there, don't they?
That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
This one taken just inside the 10. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense.
And what do you think's going through his head right now? Your team's winning, but you're not having your best game. That probably affects you even when your team is up.
You don't want anyone else to know it, but I think you're right. It bothers a quarterback because they always want to be the one to lead their team to victory with their play as well as their words. And in this case, he's got something he can fall back on. He's contributed, yet at the same time he's thrown an interception. Got to remember the bottom.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and we are tied here in the second quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 3. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Bears offense ready to get going again.
They'll run on first down. Scott. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and that will come the offense as they take over.
Trey Lance of the 49ers set to go back on offense here.
He's been pretty good when he's had time. The issue is, as we see here, a lot of times he hasn't had the time.
And a lot of that in getting past it is attitude. How's he projecting? Is he showing that the other team is getting to him? Is he showing his guys up front that he's upset, that he's angry? Or is he still encouraging? Because those guys, they've got to find a way to pick it up. And it always happens a little bit better if they felt their quarterback's on their side.
So far, 5 sacks against him. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. Trey Sermon, 61 yards.
And the 49ers on just 2 plays have taken the lead. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
Yeah, I'm really not sure what was more impressive about that throw. Was it the distance travel or the accuracy involved? Because I'm going to tell you straight up, when you're trying to hit a guy in stride that far downfield, there's nothing easy about it, but he sure made it look easy there.
Yeah, and the next-gen stats showing that at an even 57 yards through the air.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead is now 21-14. Now after after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taken in at the 3. And he returns this to the 22.
That's it, baby. It's on work.
Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense. Looking to pick up some steam, generate some steam right now. Down on the scoreboard and struggling a bit.
And sometimes you have to find it from places you don't ordinarily get it. Not necessarily just going back and throwing the football. Maybe use your legs a little bit. Maybe rely on some teammates, get the ball in their hands. Anything to try and generate a spark. But bottom line, he has to play a lot better.
Yeah, he does. He's got the 2 INTs and the 1 touchdown pass. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On third down, Scott. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. 51 yards on the punt there. Trey Lance of the 49ers set to go back on offense here. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, this is the second of 4 games this weekend as we narrow the field down to the 4 teams who will meet in the league championship games next Sunday. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look ahead to tomorrow's other divisional round game in the NFC. And it looks like we've got a good one in store, as it's going to be one heck of a battle, that's for sure. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Bears. And I can imagine the halftime discussions are about how can we improve the running game. They have not had success so far, and it's reflected on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they too didn't do a whole lot in terms of rushing efficiency in that first half, as you can tell by the numbers there.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. And the Bears offense set to go to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest. But now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering, how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now? Because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room. But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to get a little jolt of confidence moving forward.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. And they'll give to Scott here on the option. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Fields now to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. On 1st down, Lance. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack. This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. And he'll give it here to his running back. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long. Working from the gun. Lance. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, 85 yards. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. Sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's 3rd down. You're trying to get off the field, and then wham. You have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead now up to 14. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Chicago offense set to get started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. They'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down. Now Scott. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the 1st as the tackle is made at the 33. Give him 5 on the QB run, but it's going to bring up a 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to kick it away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. when you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Mitchell. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Looking to throw. Lance. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. And now that brings up 4th down there. A loss of 6 yards on the sack.
That's the 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd.
But when you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Fields. And that's caught left side. Seals Jones with it. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10.
San Francisco's offense returns to the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
7 yards, the pickup there.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
On 2nd down, it's Mitchell fighting through. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40.
44 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Hands it off out of the gun. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Because his primary job is defending against the pass, you don't often see a cornerback making tackles in the backfield. But he's playing run all the way here.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Back to throw. Lance to the right side. It's caught by Mitchell. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
The 49ers are going to turn over to the special teams crew. The field goal unit is out there now. From the right hash, this from 53. Sanders' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. And the Niners get there and bring him down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Remember, throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. 3rd and long. It's Fields.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Here comes the Bears punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And San Francisco gets set to go here.
They have all but booked their ticket to the NFC Championship game next weekend, and they'll look to finish things off here now in this 4th quarter.
On 1st down, Mitchell finds a seam inside the 40. And down to the 29-yard line. 66 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. On second down now, it's Mitchell. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This is caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And Lance now to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
They'll try and power it in with Juszczyk. And he's going to be shoved back short of the goal line. He tried to break that plane but couldn't get there, and that's going to leave him now at 3rd and goal. They were held out last time. Here now is 3rd and goal from the 1. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
It's an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. The kick by Sanders is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fielded right around the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. Back to throw. Fields. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Caleb Chason in there to get him. It's a 5.
Oh, man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
After the sack on 1st down, Fields firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap, Fields going for the deep ball. And unable to connect, incomplete. Well, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. They snap it to Fields. He's going to try and go deep again. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there will be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game, it starts to open up as the game moves on.
Right back to Mitchell on second down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And to give this time to the tailback. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. Sanders' kick is good. And that lead will move from 20 up now to 23. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Let's go. Do this.
Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. They knew this would be tough on the road, divisional round, and that has certainly been the case with the deficit they face in this 4th quarter. Fields on 1st down. Steps away to his left. And Fields going to have the 1st down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Fields. And he's going to have the hook up to Scott. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down. 2nd down at 4. Now it's Fields. And the Niners get there and bring him down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Well, here we go on 4th down. Fields. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They'll run on first down. Mitchell, and able to work his way down to the 16.
2nd and 2.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Mitchell. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. On 3rd down, Mitchell. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. And looking at it from the perspective of the losing side here in this divisional round, it all ends so abruptly, doesn't it? A few hours ago, you got all this hope and anticipation of maybe a deep run, and now you're out of it.
Well, let's applaud the team that won, and rightly so. They're moving on. They still have a chance to get to the big game. But let's not bury the team that lost. I think I do a lousy job of illuminating what a great year they had. Let's face it, when it's all said and done, they were one of 8 teams left with a chance to get to and win the Super Bowl. That's a pretty darn good season.